Hello and welcome back to the 90s Mad Podcast, your podcast for all things Newcastle United, hosted by two lifelong Newcastle United supporting buddies. Myself, D-Man, joined as usual by my co-host Jefferson. How you doing, sir?
What's good? What's good? Sing when you're winning. Well, it felt like a win, and then it was snatched, but I'm still positive after that result. Definitely wasn't expecting that. I thought we get smashed. So, yeah, come out of that feeling good. Obviously, it didn't work out as we thought, but definitely positive from that. But yeah, no, moving along the week. Happy Hump Day. How are you, sir?
Yeah, listen, I'm all right. I'm all right. Better than I was yesterday after full time.
Mm.
I've let it sink in now. Taking stock. So can't complain. Better than a couple teams. A couple teams in this Champions League. We didn't get hammered. Which some people thought we would. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. But yeah, don't forget those in the comments and the chat. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Help us. Build up, help us with the algorithm, help the channel grow, and that'd be much appreciated. And yeah, we've got a lot to discuss today because a lot went on yesterday. So interest. Let's see, we've got in the building anyway. So big up, Adrian. Hope you're good, sir. Hope you're good. Good evening, all. Hope you're good, Adrian. William, big up, William. Eddie and Andy out. He said from the jump. He said, "Listen, I thought we'd be more positive spirits."
William don't play. You don't play, man.
Big up, Kenny. How's that, Kenny? He said, "Barca
What's
who?"
happening?
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
ooh,
You know what?
ooh,
I hear you. Let's see if
ooh.
you're singing from the same hymn sheet next week, but it's all good. It's all good. We got Scats in the building as well. Hope you're good, sir. Hope you're good.
Man, that's Scats.
Liverpool, they lost 1-0, but I still expect them to go through. You know what I mean? They created enough chances yesterday. Had a goal disallowed. Although Galatasaray did as well, but and yeah,
It was
big
away,
up.
wasn't it? It was away,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
away.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So big up Forever Football. Lewis Hall was amazing. Is amazing. Yeah, we'll talk about Lewis. We've got a lot to talk
Top
about
player.
Lewis Hall. But yeah, like Scant said, fully deserved the win yesterday. And yeah, I agree. We're hard done by. It's unfortunate to concede in the last second, but it is what it is. Is what it is. We've got Big Yinks in the house as well. So big up Big Yinks. Hope you're good,
Yes,
sir. Be
Yinks.
good.
If you want
And
to come
Connor.
through, let us know, bro.
Yeah, man. And Connor's in the building as well. So big up Connor. Big up Connor. So
Yes, Con.
yeah, so listen, without further ado, let's get into it. We faced off against Barcelona in the last 16. At home, St. James's Park under the lights, first leg. And it finished Newcastle United 1, Barcelona 1. Now, this is Barcelona who did the domestic treble in their league last season. Their league leaders currently. Lamine Yamal's on red hot form. Overall thoughts on the game, Jefferson? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I think everyone probably was pleasantly surprised by how we performed. Of course, it wasn't going to be a game that we dominated with the ball. It's always going to have to be a game that we had to utilize the ball well, which I think we did because we actually fashioned more chances, more shots on target. And the pass accuracy weren't too bad either. So it looked like we were on the front foot at times, but balanced. We came real close to winning this game, but it's chalk and cheese in comparison to previous performances. I think I think we're getting used to this stuff. The midweek games under the bright lights. It's a shame that I mean we don't know how far we could go, but this could be the second to last game. We don't know. But I think the home fans, got a bit of a treat there because based on historic performances, no one probably could have thought we would, turn out a performance like that. So there were some good performances from key individuals as well. But what I liked in parts was we were up in the tempo with our passes. We knew that we had to keep things moving and have good sequences of play because there was no chance Barca were going to let us up. Yes, they were slightly off it, Barca, no secret about that. There's no way we played the best version of them, but you can only play who's in front of us. And I thought, yeah, in terms of taking the initiative as the home side, at least in terms of a performance, give the players like a mental boost. I thought it was good in that sense. Just a shame that that little bit of silliness from Tiao at the end, kind of, and a little bit of Gordon as well, let us down there. What
I
did you
say,
make of it?
I say, well, Gordon and Chow, to be honest, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, I agree. Listen, Going into the game, even the most optimistic Newcastle fans, in reality, Barcelona were heavy favourites. Heavy favourites going into the game. They've got Champions League pedigree. We know what they can do. They've scored, bags of goals. Lamine Yamal, arguably one of the best players in the world currently. So to see us perform the way we did, listen, I expected us to play with intensity, which we did. But what impressed me is that we didn't really let up like we do usually after the first 30 minutes. I thought we were the better team. Yes, Barcelona had more possession, but you expect that from a team like Barcelona. Yeah. But the way we played, it wasn't just, kick and rush, intense, back to the walls job and hope we can hit them on the break. It wasn't. Like I said, there were patterns of play where we were precise with our passing, playing out from the back. We were pressing them from the front. The physicality told as well. We play to our strengths. Yeah. Now, Barcelona, we're not going to outpass Barcelona, but when we did have the ball, it wasn't just a case of launching it long. We did try to pass it when we could. Like I said, there were some very good individual performances, and we played with no fear, which I liked. And we did try our best to get the win, and we almost did. Like I said, we're seconds away from doing it. And you said yes, Barcelona weren't at their best, which I agree. But you tend to get that from Barcelona away from home, especially when they come to London, to England. I can't really think of too many performances of late over the last few years where they've come to England and been at their best. But that's because they have so much belief in what they can do at home. But credit to us, we didn't. As much as they were off it, I thought we made them a part of it. We made them look off it as well. You know what I mean? So they knew they were in a game yesterday, which impressed me. It's still the case of, for me, the frustration is we still don't know how to control games in the key moments. Yeah, and whether that's a personnel thing or the way they're managed, I don't know. But we'll get to that as well. But I can't be too downbeat about it because we're still in with a chance. Yeah, in the second leg, it's not impossible. It's not probable, but it's not impossible. So it gives us that glimmer of hope going into that second leg. And that's all we wanted, to go into the second leg with a chance. And that's what we have. Yeah. So in that respect, I can't really be too downbeat about it. At the time, it felt like a bit of a loss the way we conceded. But when you take stock, a 1-1 draw isn't the worst result. It's not the worst result. So we'll see.
How does everyone else feel in the chat? Do people think we were going to get smashed? Are you happy with the draw? Do you feel let down? Do you think we still have a chance? Let us know.
It'll be interesting. I think everyone can agree that we have some sort of chance, but do you think we will go through in this? Let me know in the chat as well, because there may be some optimists, some very optimistic fans, who think that seeing how Barcelona performed, that they're not all that they can be got at, and we can hit them on the break.
Looking at you, Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny. Optimism. But like Connor said, we harassed them. Where he said, where is it? We harassed them all game. Yes, we did.
We did.
And Age said this was the most important game in the club's history, under the lights against an uninspired Barcelona. Interesting.
Big statement from Adrian there.
Forever Foot was do you think it was a penalty? Yeah, I don't think anyone can argue against it. He did get clipped. You know what I mean? So, all right, Kenny, I hear what you're saying, but listen, the most of the viewers here weren't around in '69, bro. I'll be honest. Yeah. So
I hear that. I hear
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Big up, Kim Cam. Hope you're good. Kim Cam said we are still in it, so we have a chance. Indeed. Big up Anthony. And said we need to tie Lewis Hall down before the vultures come circling. We'll talk a lot about Lewis Hall because all the talk is about him this morning, and rightly so. Fans like us and those that we've been singing his praises for a long, long time. I don't know if Kante is in the chat, but I can't believe anyone compared him to Anthony Robson. Yeah, but we'll get to that. Connor said,
left in the dust right now.
No, man, we threw it away again late, like most of the season. The game was there for the taking. Yeah.
It's a frustration, Con. It is. It's a frustration, isn't it?
Kenny said, think we will park the bus like the Milan, then get the game on the break. Get them on the break. Yeah. I think that's probably the smartest thing we can do is try to keep it tight. We don't want to concede early, but we'll talk about our hopes in the second leg in a bit anyway. So big up, Iniesta. Hope you're good.
Big up.
But
Adrian, man. Adrian. He's a funny dude.
I'm sure Raymond will be here soon. He'll be here soon enough. Yeah, but big up Raymond. But yeah, let's talk about the lineup, right? Because there was a few surprises there. Most of us thought that Anthony Gordon will start up front. The question would be whether Voltemada would be picked or would he picked in midfield. What were your thoughts when you saw the lineup, Jefferson?
Again, happy to see Ramsdale in goal, because when people saw the photos of Pope in the media, they were like, "Oh, is he gonna bring him back in?" And I said in the group that if you're playing against a team that's gonna dominate possession, it's important you got a ball playing centre back, because we're gonna need it for whatever part of the ball in the game that we're gonna have. Obviously, again, seeing Asula there was like, what? Because I know he talked about giving him an opportunity, but I didn't think he'd play him in a game such as this. And then, of course, looking at the midfield, we talked about it, that this is the midfield we will want to start this game. Why? Because it would give us balance. It would give us balance. And we know that in the big games, particularly, he will go to Dan Burn. So, that, Botman for Burn was always going to be the switch. So, yeah, I was a little bit shocked that Gordon didn't start the game. And I don't know if that was a case of Eddie trying to keep his powder dry or trying to maybe bamboozle Flick. If Flick had been thinking, right, Gordon's going to be a sure starter, he'd made all his plans, how to deal with him. And actually, Asula is a different kind of problem to solve. So props to Eddie in that one. It nearly paid off.
So, like this comment from Kenny, he said, looks like Cal has no faith in Vissa and Voltemada. See, that's the thing. It's one thing Gordon not starting, which was a surprise, but obviously we know because of the illness, right? But he's picked Asula over Vissa and Voltemada. Your two, strikers who you bought for big money, right? They are fit, but you've gone for Asula. Now, I know what Asula did in midweek against Man City, but how do you think both of them feel? The fact that they've been bypassed and he's gone to basically the fourth choice striker. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think Vissa, let's be real, it's a big party for him. He's just so gassed to be here, So listen, he's still going to be chomping on his Gregs and probably slacking in training. So we don't have to worry about him. The Voltemada one is the one we have to worry about, because that's going to hurt his feelings. These are the games he's been signed for, the big matches. It's going to hurt. It's all right to play him against Wolves away or Brighton away, whatever it is. But these are the games he wants to make a difference in. He's a big game player. He's thinking ahead to the World Cup. He wants to be on the big stage. And not even being afforded that is, for him, probably feels quite personal now, to be honest with you. So not only have you been played out of position, which means you're doing your bit for the team, but then you can't be repaid and trusted in a game like this is crazy, man.
Yeah,
I think that could lead to relationship breakdown, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's on the phone to his agent saying, "Please get me the hell out of here."
And that's the thing. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, and the more it goes on, the more I just don't think he's going to be next. Like I said, if Eddie Howe's here next season, I don't think Voltemada will be next season. Like I said, you bought for big money. You want to play in the big games. You've got the World Cup coming up. You want to be in a big stage and show what you can do. And he's mocking you. But then at the same time, is Asula better suited to how we wanted to play yesterday? And Asula didn't play badly as well. We'll talk about Asula as well. So maybe in hindsight, it was the right call. But from a personal point of view, from Voltemada, he must be feeling a way about it. Oh, big up Scans for giving us the running commentary of the Real game. Looks like Vinicius Jr. missed a penalty. Does that mean it's still 3-0? I know City were getting clapped. Chelsea losing 2-1.
a clanger there, because if you go 4-0 up, it's pretty much done.
Oh, bruv, that's done anyway. 3-0's done, bruv. They're
City
finished.
could defy the odds. You never know.
This City is not doing it, bruv. They're not. They're done. They're not winning a trophy this season, by the way. I'll tell you that for free, innit? But it is what it is. And if PSG don't get a 2-goal lead against Chelsea, they'll go out as well next.
2-2.
It's 2-2. Enzo just scored. So I'm telling you, PSG going out as well.
I think this is for Bayern to win. I think Bayern are going to win.
Bayern? I think it's for Arsenal, bruv. I think it's for Arsenal.
Maybe.
Yeah? But
they came unstuck today.
We'll see. But yeah. So in terms of other things, like I said, the midfield that we saw, Joe Linton, Tonali, and Ramsey, I thought that was the midfield that we expected, like you said. And like I said, Byrne was only rested against at the weekend. That was just simply to rest. Yeah, we know he was coming back in. He was coming. But like I said, good that he kept faith with Ramsdale. So yeah, we'll get into the game itself, right? Because obviously there weren't any goals in the first half, but that first half was an entertaining one, and we had the better chances, right? So a lot of it came down the right-hand side from Alanga. Yeah.
No surprise there.
Now, what did you make of his first half performance? Because he had one where early on he fizzed one over, which was a decent cross. I think he put one was it for Asula as well? I can't remember. But he had one where he took the shot and the keeper saved it well. Now the linesman's flag went up, but on replay it looks like he could have been onside. If he'd scored it probably might have been onside. Could have been. But what did you make of his first half performance and the chances we created as well?
Again, the issue has always been about the quality with him, isn't it? I know he put one in as well that kind of troubled their defenders. I think the thing was he had the beating of Cancelo with his pace. So it proved to be a threat. You need to anticipate, and this is on the strikers, on the attackers here. Once you see he's got the beating of the fullback, it's about the quality. And he seemed to find it a little bit in patches. So then you need to get there. And that wasn't quite happening. It still feels a bit disjointed with the front line, I'm afraid. If, for example, if Isak was there, sorry I'm saying his name, with that kind of delivery, you think he's going to get closer to the end of it. So it's that kind of thing where you get frustrated that, a Voltamada hasn't been picked. But I felt like he had the beating of Cancelo in those opening moments of the game. And it looked encouraging signs.
So like Christopher Arks, he said, does last night not show that we need a striker like Asula but can score, and a player like Elise, dynamic winger who can score? Our front three are not good enough, and a new goalkeeper. Well, you're right. I mean, especially in terms of the striker, like you just mentioned, Jefferson, if we had like an Isak who could get on the end of it, it could anticipate, because with Asula, like he does a lot of things well. And I thought he played one of his better games up front yesterday. But he lacks that killer instinct at front of goal and that cute bit of movement to anticipate as well, which we're lacking. But everything else is there. If you put it together, maybe once he develops, he can become that guy. But we need someone like that, and that's probably what we hoped Vis would be. Yeah, but until Visser gets up to speed and gets fitter, it's not going to be the case. It's not. In terms of Alanga, I like the way he played yesterday, because I think his performance are getting slowly better. It's just that end product and that final decision making, because he either takes one touch too many, or he's overhitting passes, or he runs out of play. He's got the beating of players now. He's starting to try to take on players and beat them now, which is good, because he wasn't doing that early on the season. But it's that final decision making. Once you've done that, okay, what are you going to do? It's like he's surprised to get there now, and he kind of like,
what? I'm here.
What do I do? What do I do? Right, Adrian, your prayers have been answered. Raymond's in the building.
Yes, Raymond.
Big up, Raymond.
Big
He
up.
said, hi, D-Man Jefferson. How are you? We're good. Newcastle versus Barcelona. VAR referee should be given a tactical foul on Alanga and a penalty for me for Newcastle, and red card for Yamal for Newcastle. Interesting. A lot of people saying that Yamal should have been booked earlier, and maybe should have got the 2 yellow cards in with a different story
as well.
Yeah, but William said Alanga isn't it? Nothing more than a mid-table at best talent. Yeah. But then the thing is, why you may be right, William. He's not going anywhere. He's not. It's at least for another season. So it's the management's job and the coaching staff to work with him and get the best out of him, because he is improving. But yeah, I get what you're saying. There's a lot more that needs to come before he can even begin to think about justifying a price tag. But yeah, smash the likes, people. 20 of you in the building. I think we've got 13 likes, so let's get to like 20 likes as soon as possible. That'd be much
by the way,
appreciated.
just real quick, I know it's slightly off topic, but thanks to everyone that gave us hype points on the last episode. That was crazy. We were so close to making the top 100 list. We had like 97,000 hype points or something.
No, appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a big effort. Thank you, people.
Yeah. But yeah, listen, that first half weren't without, a few scares at the other end. There was one where I think it was Dan Burn almost deflected it into his own goal. That would have been.
You see his face. He was like, "Oh no."
And the thing is, Ramsdale was getting nowhere near that. I don't know if that was the same passion play where Trippier done his groin. when he's gone down, he's done his groin. Like he's almost stretched and he's gone down like he's been shot. Like,
this is it. He's coming of age now. This is it. These things are just gonna.
But I was worried. The fact that he was up against Rafinha. And to be fair, Trippier, he didn't do too badly. He did all
right, didn't he?
Yeah.
Random question with Garcia. What did you think? Because we might have got an insight as to how, alternate universe had Mitchell been able to sign him for us. What did you make of him?
He didn't look the most assured, if I'm honest. Like he obviously good with the feet and stuff, and he pulled off a good save from the one from Elanga and stuff. But I wasn't really overly. I mean, did we test him enough? I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's hard to
disappointing with the goal, obviously, as well. On his end.
Yeah. Wasn't overly impressed if I'm honest. I didn't leave there thinking, oh my god, we've missed out on something.
What a keeper!
Yeah. You know what I mean? So. It's only one game, so it's hard to judge. We'll explain the high points at the end, William, if that's all right. He's asked what does the high points mean, but I don't. It's you scroll across from your likes, you can push the hype button, and it helps. It helps significantly. So yeah.
Hype.
Was there any other chances in that first half? I can't really remember.
I mean, I think there's another Barca chance, I think, but it's an easy one into the keeper. A little bit of dawdling on the ball from Trippier and Joe Linton there, but it's a bit slack.
Yeah. Okay, so what in the second half, again, lively. Now we were pressing for the goal. We did kind of leave a few gaps at the back, but credit to Malik Chow and Dan Burn, they seemed to mop up quite well. The midfield battle was interesting because obviously we were very physical. They were trying to turn us inside out and whatnot. Sometimes they had a bit of success, other times not so much. But Lamine Yamal was pretty ineffective, which we'll get to. But again, we created some opportunities. Elanga, before he was drawn, bursting on the right hand side. There was a where I think there was an opportunity where he's gone through on the right hand side, and rather than whip it first time, he's taken an extra touch and he's allowed the defense to get back, and it's been blocked when he eventually crossed it. I thought that was a great opportunity. Yeah,
so
great opportunity that side.
And there was another one with the Sula, wasn't it, where he just mistimes it. He can't get there. The ball goes past him.
Yeah.
I also thought as well, the one where Sula took a shot. I thought actually, could he have squared it across for Barnes? I don't know if he would have been playing it back on himself, because I don't think Barnes was level.
I thought that would have been quite difficult for him to square it. Maybe if he chopped back and took time
an area, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But again, it's that first touch that kind of took it away from him and whatnot. But yeah. Then there was the disallowed goal. Yeah. Great move. Great passing move. It's fell to Harvey Barnes and he's curled it off the post. Joe Linton on the rebound. When it went in, did you think it was a goal? or did you know originally it was offside?
You could see it. You could see
Yeah,
it. You could see it. But you always think,
yeah,
oh, is there something I've missed? Maybe there's something I've missed. But
yeah,
nah, you could see it.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
miles off.
And then obviously Eddie Howe
And
makes this.
Murphy
We'll
as
say
well.
he makes the subs. He makes the subs. Murphy comes on. First thing he did have the opportunity where I think he's volleyed it over with his left foot.
Should have finished that. Should have
Finished,
buried that.
or at least got it on target. Yeah. But then the moment of magic, Tonali plays it out wide to Murphy. He plays a 1-2 with Ramsey, and he does what Elanga fails to do: whips in a great ball across. And there's Harvey Barnes, who, again, scored at the weekend. And again, he tends to be quite streaky for us, isn't it? Once he starts scoring, he goes on a bit of a run. And he first time into the net, keeper couldn't keep it out. Do you think it was? Listen, it was a great move. The finish itself. Do you think he was fortunate with it? Should the keeper have done better?
Yeah, I think if you take a look at it again, number one, it's good movement from Barnes, but he goes sim behind the fullback. He's clearly not tracked, and they've got caught ball watching. This is stuff that we have to go at our defense at. How did he beat it? But once Barnes is in that position, he makes a decent connection with it. It's on target. It's the minimum we expect. But the keeper, I don't know if he's caught cold. He's just scrambling around, which doesn't give the best account of himself. Do we care? Not really, because it's a goal. It's gone in. We're 1-0 up. And I'm sure you, me, everyone here on the stream was screaming at the TV, chucking their remotes in the air. Or obviously those that were lucky to be in the house. Do you know what I mean? Were nearly falling off their seats at that point. And you can't underestimate. It's another great delivery into the box, isn't it? Unsurprisingly, the goal comes on the right-hand channel. It always does. That's the way we operate in terms of accuracy and lethal attacks comes from that right-hand channel. But yeah, interesting goal that we scored. An interesting time because normally we are lapsed to concentration, conceding goals after we score. But I actually thought, you know what? This is really late in the game. So we've scored at a really pivotal time.
85 minutes. 85 minutes. 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time. And like I said, when the goal goes in, you're screaming about it and you're thinking, right. Now, we've gone 1-0 up, right? Now, in reality, a 1-goal lead going into the second leg is probably not enough. It's decent, but ideally you want one more in it. But the fact that we scored on 85 minutes, all right, hindsight's a wonderful thing. But do you think we should have held for the 1-0 or tried to go for the 2-0?
The problem is, as we've seen this season, I know it's different competitions, different games, but when we've tried it against Chelsea and Tottenham, where we've gone defensive, we've gone 4-5-1 or 5-4-1, it's not worked. Somehow, obviously, looking at the equaliser, they managed to play the ball through the middle, man. And this is what we're talking about in terms of that quality. Yeah, and when you've got players like Omar, I mean, that touch as well and the jink, how do they find the way through? So I think inviting pressure on yourself is not the one. It's not the one. You're going to be out on your feet at that point, and then it's squeaky bum time. So I think it's one of those ones you want to get the ball into a higher area and hold on to it for as long as you can.
Should
utilize the clock.
Should Eddie have brought on Botman, another defender,
and then maybe taken off maybe like a striker?
Yeah, but maybe, because he obviously Gordon was on the pitch, who did absolutely nothing. If you're gonna try hold on for a win, but the thing is, the writing was on the wall when I think we had a free kick, and you saw Trippier in the stand saying, "Look, calm down. There's 3 minutes left. Calm down," and he wanted it to be played into the corner. Yeah. But then for some reason they decided to try get it into the box, right? Because all the centre backs went up. Tonali's put it into the box and stuff. And maybe that's that kind of game management that we lack. Now I understand it because, like I said, 1-0 is probably not enough going into And because it's not like we scraped the 1-0 when we didn't deserve the goal that we scored. We were on top. Yeah. So maybe they thought, okay, they're there for the taking here. So maybe they thought, get the 2 goals, and then we've got a real chance of in the second leg. But as time ticks on and it's not come, you need to show a bit more solidarity. Like I said, the way the penalty came is they cut through the middle. And time again, that's happened this season where we don't keep it tight. Yeah. And especially against a team like Barcelona, you have to be switched on at all times. Right. And we failed to do that. We got punished. Now, obviously, we give away the penalty. Right. Now, Kenny said, I think Kenny said we should have bought Botman instead of Willock. Fair enough. And he said we should have taken the 1-0. And then he also said 2 crucial points was one Burn going up for the second, 2 subbing Barnes on 92nd minute and added 30 seconds. Now that's what I want to talk about actually, because the 4 minutes went, yeah, and it looked like the ref was just played. Because it looked like he was going to blow for full time, but he allowed play to go. Yeah. Now, like Kenny said, is that because they were the sub that was made? And the extra 30 seconds, because that's when the penalty was given. So a lot of people are saying, he played over the time. But remember, it's a minimum of 4 minutes.
Yeah, minimum.
There's no, you know what I mean? So, and you have to play to the whistle. Now, in terms of the penalty itself, the build-up, Tonali has played a great ball to Gordon, right? Now, Gordon has 2 options, because Willock's joining him on the left, yeah? He can run with it, or he can pass it to Willock to run it in the corner. He tried to play the most complicated pass of all to Tonali. Why is he trying to do that? Can you fathom why he's trying to do that?
I can't, bro. I can't fathom it, honestly. At the very least, if you're like, I'm scared of holding on to the ball, launch it long into the corner. Then the keeper has to get it, and then they have to start from the back. Gives you time to regather your shape. So there's no real game intelligence or savviness there.
PSG just scored. This keeper's moving like Kimsky, bruv. What are you doing? What are you doing?
We've got a live watch along here, guys.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
In terms of this stage and knockout football, you really have to have your marbles about, and every mistake you make can be punished. And that's the thing you see with the centre forward role. Defensively, you have to hold the ball up. You're trusted from the front. The protection starts from the front.
Right.
If someone feebly loses the ball, that's a liability for the team.
And again, do we have to place some responsibility on Eddie Howe for bringing Gordon on? Because obviously Gordon wasn't well enough to start the game. He came on and he looked knackered. He looked like he wasn't up for it. And you've got Voltemada and you've got Visser on the bench who aren't ill. Yeah. So surely one of them could do the running around for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you could argue we didn't need him. Don't get me wrong. I felt like we looked better when the subs came on. But in terms of Gordon, you could argue we really didn't need him. We were doing all right.
This is it. And like I said, he played the pass. He's been intercepted. Obviously, we talked about the gap in midfield. And unfortunately, listen, it's great play from Dani Olmo. He's chopped inside, dropped the shoulder and cut inside Malik Chow, who's clipped him. Penalty, right? Now,
just face him head on. Just face him head on. What is he gonna do? Just face him head on. He can only go left or right, so you just slide to the left or right, don't you? He just sells it so easy and then chops at him as well.
Is this? Because remember when we bought him, Milan fans were talking about he's prone to errors. I know he's given away more than one penalty now for us. On the flip side, he's played pretty much every minute of every game since he's come on, since he's got his debut. Are we starting to see? Because to me, he had a good game. He had a good game.
Yeah, he did.
For 94 minutes, he had a good game.
As well.
Yeah. So I think because a lot of people start to question him as well. I mean, that's way too harsh for me. It's way too harsh. But you have to. These games, it's fine margins. It's fine margins. You have to stay switched on to the full time whistle. And we made the mistake and we got
Why has
punished.
he gone for a bite? Why has he gone for a bite?
I don't know. It's maybe it's the panic because it looks a bit frantic in the box. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He's committed himself when he didn't need to, and we got punished for it. We got punished for it.
Stay on your feet. Stay on your feet. It's schoolboy stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's a bigger lad as well. So just face him head on. If he bends it around you, that's another story.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. You know, like Asula did with Harry Maguire. There's nothing you can do about it. But if you face him head on, what options has he got?
Yeah. And there's Lamine Yamal. He steps up. He sends Ramsdale the wrong way. 1-1. We did literally the very last kick of the game. So we leave with a point. A draw, and we go to the second leg 1-1. Before I talk about our hopes for the second leg, we've got to talk about some of the performances that were put in yesterday, and we have to start from the very top. The man of the match. Don't know how they gave it to Harvey Barnes, but the man of the match, Lewis Hall. Yeah. Now, how good a performance was that in your opinion? I don't know if you've seen a stat that Lamine Yamal had 0 dribbles against him, and that's the very first time in his UEFA Champions League career that he's ended the game with 0 dribbles, successful dribbles. And not only defensively, but offensively, you know, the driving runs that he was doing, trying to create stuff up front in attacking third. What are your thoughts on his performance, and how good is he at the moment, in your opinion? And those in the chat, I want to hear your comments as well about this.
Mean, listen, it's taken him a while, I think, to get to full fitness. We've worried about how he's going to be managed or has been managed by overseen by the manager because of his condition and him coming back from the previous injury. We know before his last injury, he was England's best fullback. You know, he had a little competition with Maya Skelly, came on top of him, and it's only in his absence that Nico O'Reilly kind of rose to prominence. But I think because Hall is a former central midfielder, he has a technical ability that some fullbacks don't have, because he can go inside, he can go outside, he can invert. He's got a good pass on him, good vision, crossfield pass, short, medium, long. And as we see, when he gets to the edge of the box, he's got a decent shot on him. He can cross the ball. I mean, that was part of our arguments last season for playing Barnes over Gordon, was that Gordon would often ignore the Hall overlap. So he does have that in the locker. The only thing I would say about Hall is he needs more goal contributions in terms of assists. But in terms of his all-round technical quality, you talked about defensively, you know, he was able to kind of keep Yamal, who's probably one of the continent's most, you know, deadliest wingers, quiet. And I've got some stats here, and it's from Magpie Media, and it says he played 99 minutes, obviously, 56 touches, 22 out of 27 passes completed, 7 recoveries. That is arguably a match-winning performance. 6 out of 9 duels won. 5 chances created. So it shows that he's good in both boxes, as we know. 3 fouls won and 2 out of 2 successful dribbles. And just to say that, he's not 24, he's not 25, he's 21. So 21. People got to remember that there's more to come from this player. And props to him. I think he firmly announced himself at the top table in the European stage.
And you're right, because all the talk was about Lamine Yamal coming to St. James's Park, and he's about to show Lewis Hall the levels. Yeah. And the fact that all Yamal had to show for it was a penalty, but he pocketed him. Yeah. That's it. That's plain and simple. He had him in his back pocket from start to finish, you know, and it's the fact that, like you said, that the amount of duels that he won, the recoveries that he put in, but the going forward, you know, it looked like he could fit in well in that Barcelona team.
Oh, yeah.
You know, press resistant, you know, can receive the ball on the half turn, the weaving in and out to get free of his player. And again, I keep saying he's our most technically gifted player in the squad, to be honest. And he's gone a bit dark there. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what happened. Sorry.
But yeah, it's interesting now because, all right, yes, it's on the world stage, so everyone sort of sat up and took notice yesterday. But But we've been screaming his praises for a very long time. Like you said, last season, up until the injury, he was the best, in my opinion, the best left back in the Prem. Miles Lewis-Skelly only got into the England team because Hall was injured. He got injured when he got selected. He has to be the first choice left back for the World Cup. If he stays fit, he has to go to the World Cup and start. You know, he's that good. Like I said, the fact that he was a midfielder, it shows his qualities, his passing, his composure on the ball as well, his awareness as well. You can tell. So the ceiling, he's got a very high ceiling. He's 21, and we're gonna maybe not this summer, but we're gonna do well to keep hold of him. You know, we talk about Tino Livramento leaving, but if you talk to most Newcastle fans, if they have to pick one, they'd rather lose Tino and keep Hall. So we have to offer him a new contract. You know, you've got the Man United fans talking about should we sign Lewis Hall? You know, there are going to be plenty of other suitors. European teams will be looking at him. Yeah, because for me, he's the best performing left back in the country at the moment. And if you're looking at world football, right, there may be one or two ahead of him, but he started to creep. If he continues in this trajectory, he will be in that conversation.
And remember, he's in a team that don't play football.
This is what I'm saying.
We don't pass the ball around and play proper football. Just imagine.
Yeah. And look how long it took for him to get into this team. That's a crime in itself. That's a crime in itself.
Ridiculous. And we need to nail him down, don't we? I think as Stephen's put in the chat, because we've got to learn from past mistakes, man. The vultures start coming in and particularly where he is an England international. We've got a World Cup coming, which means he's effectively in the shop window.
Yeah.
So really, that should be sorted by the end of the season.
That should be a priority. We need to start learning from our previous mistakes. Yeah. We need to start learning. But let's look for some of these comments. Smash the likes, people. We've got 18 likes in there at the moment. See if we can get up to 30 likes within the next 15 minutes. So smash the likes if you haven't done already. You know, it costs nothing. It doesn't take too long. So please, we much appreciated. William said, incredible performance. Scares me that he will open up some eyes and they will be sniffing around. Yes, they will. Yeah. And how much do you think he's worth in today's market currently? I think if they're quoting 70 for Tino Livramento, how much do you think he's worth?
I think it's roughly about the same, maybe about 10 million more. I think again, like I say about both fullbacks, it's just those goal contributions for me. I think if he popped up with 7 or 8 a season, wow.
Okay.
Listen, it's big figures. But remember, like, it wasn't so long ago. You look at players like Ben Chilwell. You know, they were going for big money at the time.
Yeah.
But the difference was, you know, he was popping up with, say, 5 goals, 5 assists, so 10 goal contributions. You know, this is the kind of thing we want to see. But
maybe
he's a great player.
Chilwell was playing with strikers that could finish. You know what I mean? So
that helps for starters.
Exactly.
That definitely helps for starters.
Big up, Smokey. Hope you're good. Smokey said,
Hall
is class. Indeed. And Adrian said, considering Hall is still polishing his game, he's on course to be one of the best left backs in the world. And that's the thing. As much as, you know, we want to sing his praises, we don't want to hype him up too much because he will go for a rough patch. Yeah. And you know, people are going to start, you know, not trolling him, but it'll be that, you know, he's not all that, blah, blah. I thought he was this, that, and the third kind of thing. So, you know, let's take a bit of time. But listen, the potential is there. And the performances that he's putting in, well, PSG scored again. But yeah.
And to be fair, I thought potentially he was at fault or contributed to the faults of 2 goals in the last game.
Yes.
Defensively, I still do look out for things that he can improve on. Do you see what I'm saying?
Of course.
But that will come with time. Yeah. By the time he's 23, it's scary what kind of a player he could be.
Ginesta says, Barca went man-for-man marking and Hall did single-handedly destroy their structure and could help us create 4 versus 4s, etc. He's so key to... listen, we pray that he can stay injury-free for the remainder of the season because he's a key man for us. But Smokey said, we've got 2 class fullbacks. Tino came on, did okay, you know.
You see the difference there, isn't it?
Yeah,
and, Like, Trippier's put in a good shift, but Tino's playing at half pace.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few times he sort of pulled out of a few things. You can see he was a bit ginger.
Yeah.
But it's still a remarkable improvement when you've got a more mobile player with speed.
Yeah. Big up Cuff in the building. Hope you're good. Hope you smash the like on your way in, Cuff. Hall said, Hall is a little gem of a player. My only criticism is that sometimes he tries to overplay things and loses it while ignoring an easy pass. Absolutely quality player, though. Give him a new deal. Indeed. Agreed.
That's the thing. Yeah, I agree with that. This is the problem. If he had more players around him, that are receptive to that style, then it would be even better, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because we shan't sort of get rid of imagination and invention from these kind of players, but it depends who's around them. Joe Linton, for goodness sake, his touches of the ball. Yeah, you can't bank he's going to get a good first touch.
Yeah. Steve said, get loose all on 150 grand a week. He's that good, or the vultures will circle. Yep, true. Listen, we need to offer him a substantial new bumper in his contract, because he will start demanding. There will be clubs out there that will quadruple his wages. You know what I mean? I don't know how much he's on at the moment, but
30 grand apparently, according to Connor.
Yeah, so boy. I heard this, Christopher, Hall's dad is his agent, so he's not leaving. His dad's a Newcastle fan. Yeah. So that may have some influence, but there's only so long. If we're not matching his ambition, these players, these top players want to win things and compete for things. So there's only so long we can suffer mediocrity. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Maybe it's tied to Eddie staying as well. Depends who comes in as well, isn't it?
But to be fair, well, if you listen to what Lewis Hall says, maybe it's just media talk, whatever. But he does sing Eddie Howe's praises, the way he managed him, and he said he even admitted, I wasn't ready to come into the team. I needed to study and work on my game, and he helped me significantly. So maybe he does think he owes Eddie Howe a little bit. But Christopher said, remember when we paid over 32 million for him and 38 for Tino? Yeah, and some people are saying we wasted money on them. They look like bargains now. And to be fair, we do criticize Eddie Howe for the players that he targets, but these two, which I believe are Eddie Howe signings, we have to give him credit for.
They've done well. I think as well, if you look back at the time, I think people were fearing that Tino wouldn't be the player he was. I mean, I still don't think he is. I still think I think he was even quicker. But he might not have been the same player he would after his ACL injury, because it's a bit of a gamble. You don't know how they're going to come back. And then in terms of Hall, yes, Hall was brilliant for Chelsea. But again, when you look at potential, it's always a risk. Yeah. Obviously, I think in today's age, it looks cheap. But what we're looking at, is it 3 years ago now?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
2023, right? So you're just thinking, not sure about that. Yeah. But it's definitely worth its weight in gold now. That's for sure.
Definitely. Oh my God, what are Chelsea doing? Or is it disallowed? It might be disallowed. Oh, you're right. Listen, smash the likes, people. Smash the likes. We're on 18 likes. Listen, we need to get to at least 25 within the next 10 minutes, man. Come on, we can do that. Big up DMC in the building. I was watching the game with him yesterday. Hope you're good. Okay. Yeah. Up in Westfield with a couple of the BGs. He said, for me, both signings are Dan Ashworth's, not House, because he doesn't deal with youth players.
Interesting. That's valid. That is a valid comeback on that one, to be fair. Look. Yeah, there's another one here.
Yeah. 100% Dan Ashworth. Okay. Interesting.
Fair play. And remember as well that Ashworth had done a lot of work at St. George's Park, hasn't he? Yeah. So he knows about the players coming through the ranks and everything at England as well.
Yeah, true. I guess we'll never know. We'll never know.
Man, wasn't there another player? I think it'd be good to hear from you about him, because you were raving, you were waxing lyrical today.
Oh yeah, listen, I'm about to get to this one now. Yeah. A certain Jacob Ramsey, who to me has been getting better and better as the game. Get better and better as the games go on. He's now beginning to show why we paid the money for him. I'm not saying he's justified his price tag just yet, but to me, I like what he brings to the team. I think he brings something different to the team. I know you called him a glorified Willock. I don't think that's the. I think there's so much more to his game than Joe Willock.
More polished Willock.
He's good receiving the ball on the half turn. He's press resistant. He's getting better in the tackle as well. And going forward, you know, he knows when to release the ball. He can initiate moves as well. You know, it's to me, he is one of the. All right, fair enough. Bruno's out at the moment, but in terms of the balance to our midfield, I think he should be one of the first names on the team sheet. You know what I mean? Because
And they're putting him right side instead of left side as well,
yeah,
because Joe Linton's there.
yeah,
I think
you
he's
know,
better on left side.
yeah. He looked tidy yesterday. He looked tidy. You know, he was involved in the goal, the build up to the goal as well. He put in a shift. Listen, to me, that was probably arguably one of his best games for us yesterday. And again, on a stage like that, you know, I don't think many could have many complaints about his performance. But what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I thought what I liked about him was he had clear intent when he was receiving the ball. He sort of rarely wasted the ball and looked to pass the ball forward and have a positive stake in the game. I think the one he played Elanga through,
Yes.
yeah, threaded the ball through the eye of a needle there. And that's what we want. We want someone who can mix it up. They're not just running, but they're passing. So you could argue he's almost a halfway house for those kind of things. And he brings balance. He's got speed. Like you said, he can beat a man, but he's got cute and clever passing with good control. The thing for me about Ramsey, we need to see him near the edge of the box or in the box, you know. And again, that's about the manager. That's about the formation we're playing. Again, if we've got a four in midfield, so maybe if a Bruno's in there or if a Miley's in there, where they can help control the game, Ramsey can be released and get forward a bit more. So I still feel there's another gear we can see, but it shows he's adaptable, can do different roles in the team. He's getting fitter, sharper. So yeah, he's adding the depth to the squad now. I think he's proving pretty much the price we paid in terms of the going rate, that he's fitting into it well as a squad player and can have a good impact in the team.
Okay. PSG have got 5, by the way.
Wow.
The game's the
Chelsea are
tie's
done.
done. They're
Chelsea
done
are
as
done.
well. There's not for this greatest league in the world. Not a single English team has won. This leg. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
The thing is, they still have the winter break though. We don't have the winter break, I don't think, unless you're out of the FA Cup.
Yeah. But
And
what's this?
they
Yeah.
said we've played the most games in Europe, haven't we?
Yeah.
46 games.
Yeah. Crazy.
Which is
Crazy.
mad.
But what's your thoughts on this from DMC? He said Rambo is growing into the role, and when Bruno returns, there's a battle between him and Joe Linton starting.
Yeah.
Now, my thing, is it still 4-2 or 5-2? My thing is, my question to you is, where does he rank in terms of our midfielders that we have available when everyone's fit? Yeah, where does he rank in your opinion?
It depends what you're looking for in a player, because obviously he doesn't have the defensive qualities or physical qualities that Joe Linton has. But then Ramsey's better on the ball than Joe Linton. So if you're looking to progress the ball and, you know, play with a bit of possession, and utilize and manipulate the ball, Ramsey's your choice. If you want a bit of box-to-box action, be a bit more robust, then Joe Linton gives you those qualities. Because at the end of the day, Joe Linton is a Brazilian international. So we have to give him his respect. And we've seen him at his best, what he's like at his best. But for me, in terms of actual ability, what he can do on the ball, Ramsey is better. But I think he's still got levels to go. And I think Joe Linton, to be fair, we've seen Joe Linton at his best.
So would you go Bruno, Tonali, Joe Linton, Ramsey, Miley, Willock, or Miley, Ramsey, Willock? Like,
I think Miley, in my opinion, is better than Ramsey. In my opinion, I think, and I still think Ramsey, Miley's another one where, due to the manager, unfortunately, we're just not going to see the best of this player, because he's either deputizing for Bruno in that right channel, or he's playing right back. I want to see him more centrally or in midfield.
So when he's back, because obviously Tino's going to be back, right? Tino's back. So if Miley comes back this season with Bruno, you don't think Miley will get a chance in midfield?
It depends how many games are left, but I hope he does rotate a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, that's what they might need to manage Bruno's minutes. It looks like he'll come back. He'll come back before Bruno, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruno probably is not back until start of May or something. I'm
Okay.
hearing. Is it
Okay.
end of April, start
April,
of
end of
May?
April. Yeah,
So
yeah, something like that.
yeah, yeah. So they'll need to manage that. So maybe, yeah, I think Miley will get a chance before the end of the season.
Okay. So what about Joe Linton's performance? What are your thoughts on Joe Linton's performance then?
Listen, I think he stood up to be counted. He tried to press. I think we put the squeeze on them in areas. It wasn't like City where they were just like passing it around. Um, I think obviously we forced them into errors and things. And I think Joe Linton was a part of that. I think we kept a good shape in midfield until the end, literally
Okay.
until the
Yeah.
end. So
Yeah.
I'll give it to him. It was a solid 7 out of 10 performance for me.
Okay. Well, obviously it leads us 1-1 going into the second leg, right? Now, how do you think how much hope do you give us of progressing into the next round? And do we like Connor asked a good question there. He said, do we prioritize Barca over Chelsea match now? Because we've got Chelsea at the weekend. Does he rotate heavily for that, thinking that we can give? Remember, he said that our season is defined on this Champions League now. Yeah, which may be an admission that any sort of qualification hopes for the league for Europe are done. Yeah. So does he? We don't have a great record against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Does he rotate? Do you want him to rotate and go, stronger at the new camp, or do you think, listen, like you said, the league is our bread and butter. Prioritize the league, and then if you need to rotate, whatever, or go strong again against Barca, do that. And for those in the chat, I want to know your thoughts about that as well.
Yeah, I think it's a one-off game now. The next Barca tie, and I think actually we've got nothing to lose because I am expecting us to lose, so we can try and pull off a shock result. So part of that is keeping those players fresh. Eddie has to do it. If he plays these guys against Chelsea, he's stupid. He's actually stupid. And I know I do say prioritize the league, but I believe after this week's fixture, we'll have 6 fixtures left.
Something like that, yeah.
So that's a possible 18 points to play for if we want to try and finish 7th or 8th. So I think losing this one game isn't going to kill it because we're already up the creek anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's got to go all in on this Barca game because you just never know what might happen. It might be another draw. It might go to pens. You just don't know.
Okay. Steven said Barca have to come out to beat us, which will suit us with our pace up front at the Camp Nou. Interesting. Kim Cam said the game at Barca is our most important game to date. Nothing to lose. Okay, so I take you think we should rotate and rest some players, Kim Cam. Listen, don't play these kids out there because I'm going to that Stamford Bridge game. I'm not going out to Stamford Bridge to see a bunch of kids, bruv. I'm not. Yeah, but I hear what you're saying. Big up Bernal. Bernal said England clubs falling like dominoes. PSR has been very devastating at the elite level. It was always coming. Now we can see it. Interesting.
Unless you're Liverpool and you've overspent and you've gone backwards. But the balance is all wrong, isn't it? It's messed us up.
Adrian said when Barca have dropped stinkers this season, it's been away from home. I've heard that they've scored 3 or more goals of the last 13 of the last 18 games at home.
That's crazy.
That's mad. So
and now they're back at home, with the Spotify. Obviously, it's not complete. So I think Connor said they've only going to have 60,000 capacity, but that's going to help them out a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. Like William said, that he has a hard time waving the white flag against Chelsea.
I know.
But the thing, I get it. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to play a weak team, but you'll probably see the likes of Voltamada or Vissa start. It'd be interesting to see if Anthony Gordon start just to get his fitness back, get something into his legs because he only played a few minutes. If he recovers from illness, he might need a bit of a game time. Does Tino start? Because maybe Tino or they play Trippier again and start Tino at Barcelona. You know what I mean? Like, is he ready to start?
I think build up his minutes again, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Because how many minutes did Tino get in the end? Was it like 25?
25, something like that.
So I think, you give him like a solid 30, 35 minutes if you can.
Maybe Botman comes back in because Burn will play at the Camp Nou, so maybe Botman comes back in. What does he do up top? Does Alanga start or does he play? I think he plays Murphy for this one. and Elanga for his pace
Away
in the
from
Camp Nou,
home
away
on a
from
big
home.
pitch. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that makes
So,
sense. That makes
so,
sense.
so it is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Smash the likes, people. You haven't done already. Smash the like button. Get the like count up. But so, all right. Let's start with the Chelsea game. Do you think? Like I already said, our record there ain't great. They're coming off a 5-2 slapping against PSG. They might think that they've got an outside chance of qualifying, beating them heavily at Stamford Bridge. So they may have one eye on that one as well. How do you see the Chelsea one going? Do you think we get a result there?
I think narrow defeat 2-1. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, because Jean Pedro is on form at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see us winning that one.
Well, Kivka said, they're beatable if you keep Pedro quiet. They're beatable. Yeah. So
potentially. I just don't see it. We just don't have a good record at Stamford Bridge, man. I hear that, Chavoy, as well. And I know you've probably secretly got hopes of Conference League, but we've got to go all in on this Barcelona game. We've got to preserve as many players and as much energy as we can. I'd rather us give our all in the next European tie if we can.
Okay. At the moment, I think we can probably get a 1-1 draw. I don't think we're going to win there. But yeah, it is, like Kim Cam said, is about keeping Pedro quiet because he's the danger man. Cole Palmer also tends to turn up against us as well. So that could be a problem. Adrian reckons a 3-2 Big Nick masterclass. Is that from midfield or up front?
Listen,
You know what I mean?
imagine.
But then if Nick Waldemar, if it is a masterclass, there'll be shouts for him to start against Barcelona. Now, for me, I don't know if you can start him away from home at Barcelona. I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
Unless you're going direct and you have a defensive formation, and we're going to be behind the ball. But
maybe.
Because with pace, that's the thing. You can say we've got pace up front, but that only works when you have possession of the football. Do you see what I'm saying? If we're only going to have 20% possession away from home, yeah, we can hit them on the break, but we're going to be 30, 70 yards back or whatever.
Yeah, you raise a good point.
An interesting one.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, listen, are you given the fact that there's no English team, I think no English team has won this leg, right? Let's talk at it. So Chelsea have got a mountain to climb. I don't know what someone tell me what the final City score was, but I think they've got a mountain to climb as well. Arsenal got a decent draw away from home, Leverkusen, so you expect them to go through. Liverpool 1-0 down against Galatasaray, but they take them back to Anfield, so you'd probably expect them to get through. Will we do the improbable? Will we do the improbable?
I think the best we could hope for is another draw, potentially extra time or pens. Right. Outside of that, I expect us to lose in normal time. I mean, we are playing one of the best teams in Europe, managed by a top manager who's won the Champions League before, so people forget that as well. It's a big ask of the team. They've already put in a lot. I'm proud of them. It was a good performance. Like I said, I know it's disappointing that we drew, but I was relieved more than anything because I really thought, we might get smashed. So let's hope we can save face, and then we might get a little bonus, a little Brucey bonus in the away game.
Okay, so all right, just before we sign off, then how much credit do we give Eddie Howe for how we set up and how we played against Barcelona yesterday? How much credit do we give him?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier. I think again he either kept his powder dry or he outsmarted Hansi Flick by not starting with Gordon up top. I'm sure Hansi would have had to readjust his defensive plans because he thought he would have had a central striker with pace attacking him. So Asula, as we know, is a bit of a maverick, a bit of an unknown, and maybe it was a bit of a joker in the pack. So I thought he did well there. And then again, not taking risks, having a solid midfield, and then persisting with Ramsdale for me. you have to commend him because it shows that he's willing to not take risks. Obviously, I'm not going to commend him on not playing Voltemada up front or a recognised striker up front in terms of, because I still feel you're right. I think Asula's more of a right wing forward, but I'll give him props in terms of the way he approached the game yesterday. Positive result.
We've got a tough crowd there. William saying 0%. Travoy saying 1%. Come on, man.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Wow. Who's the villains now?
Isn't it?
You lot are the villains right now. You're making me look like a saint.
I just quickly, Connor said, because Bodo Glimt won 3-0 against Sporting today, so they're dark horse with a free. I'm telling you, don't be surprised if Bodo Glimt make the final, bro. But I think a couple weeks ago, minimum semi-finals they're gonna make. Yeah. They're not messing around.
They got a couple of handy players.
They're not messing around.
And again, all signs point to Norway having a good World Cup, you know.
Yeah.
We've got a few players knocking around.
So still early days, but if you had to pick a winner for the Champions League, who would it be?
Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz, Kane, and my man, Elise. It's
I remember Kane didn't even play yesterday and they won 6-1, wherever it was. But this is the thing. You see the team like Bayern slap a team in this round, and then next round they get knocked out. Like, the only thing about Bayern that concerns me is their midfield. I just don't think the midfield's good enough. But the return of Musiala, is key for them. I wouldn't mind seeing Bayern with it because I like company. Yeah, I do like him. For some reason, I just can't see past Arsenal. I think they're going to scam their way to the Champions League, bro. I think they're going to scam their way to it, bro. And I hope to God I am wrong. Yeah. Because you think about it, all the bigger teams are on this side of the draw, bro. They're on one side. Arsenal pretty much got.
Travoy makes a good point about Real Madrid. Whilst they're still in it, I know they're not as strong as they used to be, but they've got an ounce of winning this cup. And with Mbappe, listen, you've always got a chance, right?
Yeah. True. I hear your point, Ginesta. Kimmich, Pavlovic, and Musiala. I suppose. Now that Musiala's back, it does make a difference. You're right. So listen, I hope, but something tells me that they're going to frustrate everybody and get knocked out early before the final. But,
they still got Umpa Maguire in defence, didn't they?
Umpa Maguire, though. Yeah.
I only said that because I heard that from Arabic commentary one time when he messed up. The guy called him Umpa Maguire.
In terms of our game, Steve said, proud of the lads. We played a world-class team off the park. If we only had a cutting edge. Stephen, are we going to go through? Do you tip us to go through, or do you think we've our best was the first leg and they just Barca will step it? Because let's be honest, Barca will step it up another 2 gears at home. They're confident of going through. They just, from their perspective, they've done their job. They've come away and not lost. Yeah. So it's now in their hands. They're at home where they're favourites to do it now. So they will be very, very confident. I don't know if Lamine Yamal will be kept as quiet as that in the second leg, because as good as Lewis Hall was yesterday, he's got a bigger test next week. A bigger test. So in front of the Camp Nou crowd, that's going to be a real test, isn't it? A real test.
Not just the Camp Nou, it's the Spotify Camp Nou.
Spotify Camp Nou, sorry.
This corrupt club using their economic levers.
and that's the thing. And also, it worries me that
the refereeing decisions going against us.
UEFA don't want they don't really want a Newcastle beating a Barcelona. They don't. So don't be surprised if you see another dodgy handball penalty given against us or something. Yeah, or a man sent off needlessly, or someone who should have been sent off for them and they're not sent off. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit worried about that. But, let's wait and see. But credit to the boys. We got the point. We got the 1-1 draw. We were the better team. We created chances. We just need a bit more clinical. We didn't have a recognised striker up front. I know Suda was there, but let's be real, he's not that. You know what I mean? So, and we did it all without our inspiring captain as well. So, it's you never know. Yeah. And I don't know who we'd face. Probably Atletico in the next round because they slapped Tottenham. Yeah. Let's hope that Ramsdale don't have a Kimski moment or this Chelsea keeper's
Getting
moment.
to the quarters is good because it at least matches what Villa did.
It does. And financially, it's good for us as well. It's
Yeah,
good for us
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yo, Ben, big up, man.
Big up, Ben. Christopher said, after this game, when you honestly think we will get back in it, because 38 goals in 29 games is crap. Listen,
Yeah,
to
it
talk on
is.
that, it is. Let's be honest. It's more likely that, listen, if Eddie Howe stays, right, it's likely that next season when we have one game a week, he does well. Yeah. And we qualify for the Champions League, if not Europa League, right? And everyone's going to say, oh, what a great season we've had, blah, blah. But then the season after,
The
when we've
cycle
got
starts again, doesn't
it
it?
starts again. Yeah. Because how much has he learned from the previous time? I don't know. Yeah. The evidence isn't there yet because we're sitting in what, 12th or 11th in the league. And, you know, yes, we've done well in the Champions League, but we can't seem to find that balance. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, so big up Ben in the building. He said,
Current
why can we
leader
not
of
play
the
like
prediction league.
Yeah, why can we not play against Everton's, Brentford's, Bournemouth? Because the Premier League played differently to Champions League. Like Gordon said a few weeks ago, you get more space in the Champions League. And let's face it, we're one of the weakest teams in the Champions League. So teams will underestimate us, right? We're pretty much of an unknown quantity. So we can surprise a few teams. Yeah. Whether the journey stops next week, which it more than likely will do, but you never know. We will see. But then what do we do after that? Because you start looking at what we've got left in the league and the fixtures that we're coming up and the way we play in the Premier League is completely different. It goes back to that negative, depressing thought of losing, drawing, dropping
Well, that
needless
means
points.
90s. It's going to be a full house at 90s Mags.
Yeah.
We win either way. I'm joking.
Big up, Carnell. Hope you're good. Hope
Big
you're
up,
good,
mate.
sir.
Big
Hope
up.
you're good. But yeah, what do you think about this? The Solanke and Tavernier links, bro? Because obviously recently been linked to Solanke. Is that lazy journalism, or do you think there's some sort of substance to that?
It's difficult, isn't it? Sometimes there's no smoke without fire. You know, how many times historically have we've been linked to Trafford, and it's evident that the club, you know, covet the player. You know, okay, thank God the Calvert-Lewin one didn't go through, or what's it, my man, the Ghana and all these sort of players, McAtee. But I just think there's no smoke without fire with these links, you know. What do you
Surely
think?
we can't be that. Well, again, that's an admission that we were panicked by. We panic bought Visser and Voltemada. If you're going to bring Solanke, because he's not going to come cheap either. I personally think that's lazy journalism, linking because he played under Eddie Howe before, and I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm right, should I say?
What do you think about the Bueno links and some of these South American players coming up?
See, that's more like it because with Ross Wilson at the helm, that showed me that Ross Wilson's doing his job and he's doing his scouting. And that's not Eddie Howe or his nephew doing this the donkey work. That's Ross Wilson going there or getting his minions to go out there and scout these players. Again, that could be, you know, the fact that he signed a couple of Brazilians for Forest. People are putting two and two together and coming up with 5. You never know. But time will tell it. Time will tell.
Look at Iniesta. He's on it.
I'm not liking this. Yeah, that's cool.
He's trolling. He's trolling the chat right now, isn't he? Tell me another ridiculous one. What would be the most ridiculous one, Iniesta?
They are not next level. I'm embarrassed just being linked with them. Listen, it's not.
This is what we get with the manager at the helm, innit? We
That
play EFL football, bruv.
The South American players are real, but just ideas. Yeah, listen, it's early doors, isn't it? It's early doors at the moment. He's giving me another one. Listen, now's not the time, man. Now is not the time.
Because isn't Ake? I bet Ake is available on a free this summer, isn't it?
Yes.
It wouldn't surprise me. Again, ex-Eddie.
We've got to move past this. We have to move past this. But listen, time will tell. Time will tell. Right about now, it's all about what we can do in the next 2 games. Because we spoke about this run of games, this difficult patch that we had. That, you know, everyone said, you know, it's the worst run of games for any team, whatever. I can't remember which game it started, but obviously we lost to Everton. But and we lost to City. But then who else did we play? We obviously drawn with Barcelona, but there's someone else. Beat Manchester United. That's it. We beat Manchester United. So if we can get something at Chelsea, then does that put a slightly different slant on how we've done during this hard patch?
I mean, you could argue we've been behind ever since I think that period we got up to like 6th, and we had a chance of going 4th. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Apart from then, it just feels like we've always been behind. So whatever points we pick up, it's not a bonus. We're just chipping away at.
No, but what I mean is, with this run of games in all competitions, like people are talking about, we could lose all 6 games.
Oh, in terms of the run, that it was going to be this disastrous run or whatever. Yeah, you'd have to commend the team for coming through what could have potentially been a difficult patch, because everyone looked at those fixtures and it looked like an absolute horror show, didn't it? Do you see what I'm saying? So we could yet be in with a shout, but don't want to get too excited. Let's take it one game at a time, I think. And listen, we might need to get Yuri Geller bending them spoons and all that stuff, because we don't know what team we're gonna get each time we play.
That's the thing, and the thing is, right about now, we can't look past the Barcelona game, innit? Once that finishes, if we're not through to the next round, that's when reality hits about our league standing, because we've got the derby coming up after that, and then where we will finish will be a lot clearer. So yeah, but right about now we're in this little bubble where it's Chelsea and Barcelona. We'll cross that bridge after that. We'll see. Christopher said, after seeing the teams walk out, did it not show Osulu up top what a leader we have? It was embarrassing to the club's brand. Wow.
Ooh.
I mean,
strong words.
I don't know about embarrassing, but it was a surprise to see Osulu up top. What's your thoughts on Shearer's comments about Gordon? He said, him and Les Ferdinand, he was saying that, listen, if that was us, if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you're chomping at the bit to start. So, what do you reckon? That's more of a mentality. And the thing is, Gordon, he's up there for the Golden Boot for the Champions League. So, do you think that was more of an Eddie decision, or him saying, "Oh, I'm not too up for it"? Like, what do you reckon?
I don't know. As much as I don't like Gordon, he's the kind of selfish player that would want to be in a game like this.
Yeah.
So,
but he clearly wasn't right though. When he come on, he clearly wasn't right. Yeah. And it's interesting because when Voltemade was ill, he wasn't in the squad, was he? Yeah, that he missed.
He had a couple off, wasn't it?
Yeah, a game off or something. So interesting.
The Magpies people, before we leave, please.
Smash the likes if you haven't. Smash the likes on the way out, and leave a comment after the show finishes. Leave a comment. Leave a hype as well. Hype it up on that. Oh, Connor, you come.
Even the haters. We welcome the haters.
We have 38% win rate in 46 games this season.
Disgraceful.
Wow. Yeah, that says it all. Yeah.
Don't worry, Chavoy. Adrian's trolling us.
Nah. Listen. You can't put anything past this current regime, bro. You never know. But listen, we're going to leave it there. Thank you all for joining. We're going to be back to review the Chelsea game. So Sunday, we'll be back to talk about the Chelsea game.
Going to church.
Yeah. Or maybe even Saturday. You might even do it maybe even Saturday night. You never know. Look out for the notification. We may even do a reaction on the day. Because I think we play at 5:30, I think it is. So, look out for that. It's either Saturday or Sunday. So we'll see you there. But yeah, listen, smash the likes, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and hype up the show like Ginny has said. It'd be much appreciated.
And one other thing as well. Thing, I know we don't get political in it, and it's football here, but as we've seen, there's been a lot going on in the world. And just to say, our thoughts are going out to Roy and Doc, as we know that they both live in the Gulf. Lots of craziness going on. So be safe, brothers, and hopefully you'll join us on the chat on the channel soon. So yeah, thoughts going out to both of you and your families.
Big up. And yeah, we'll leave it there from the 90s Mags. We are out. Peace.